Hi guys, it's Serena here. Thanks for joining me today on my YouTube channel. Today we are going to continue with the Daniel Smith's full line of dot cards, and we're going to go ahead and swatch them. It's 266 of them plus the gouache. So if you joined me last time, we started actually with page 5 because I wanted to do the gouache. Today we're going to do page 1. I think I'm going to break it into page by page because it'll be easier to upload, edit, and easier on you guys to watch it rather than even watching 2 cards is sometimes too much. So we'll go ahead and start on page 1. And I'm using my Fabriano Aquarelle 300 GSM 9x12 cold pressed cotton paper to do this, just like I did with the other one. So let me go ahead and like I did last time, I'll put a drop of water on these dots to soften them up a little bit, and we'll get going with a little better of a close-up on the page here so you can see what's going on. Okay, I hope you can see that comfortably. It's a little stormy out, so bear with me if you hear a little crinkling or a little noise. That's the wind outside. The first color we've got in the watercolor range is the Buff Titanium. I know a lot of people have been raving about this. It's a very nice neutral color. Very useful for a lot of different things. I like it too. Look at that. That's really nice. Okay, then we have Nickel Titanate Yellow. Wow, that's like a lemon, like a light lemon yellow. Let me see if I can get that a little darker or a little more concentrated. Not too much. It's very light. It wants to be light. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Now we've got Bismuth Vendate Yellow. I hope I'm pronouncing these correctly. I don't know 100%. So if you want to correct me in the comments, feel free. I won't take it personally. Let's see what else we have here. Hansa Yellow Light. I've wanted to do these this dot card because you really get a better idea of what the color looks like rather than on a computer screen. And if you don't live near an art store where you can test these out, you're kind of stuck. So this is the best way to really try them without buying the actual color that you think you might like and then finding out that it's not quite what I wanted. This is Azo Yellow. And now we've got, oh my goodness, we've got all these names that, okay, this is Quinathalone Yellow. Quinathalone Yellow. I think that's probably how you're supposed to say it if you sound like you know what you're doing. I don't know, is it me? All these yellows seem to be very, very similar. Now we're getting into a cadmium yellow light hue. Last time I was swatching, I was accompanied by some bird song. This time it's just very windy outside. I think the birds are laying low. I don't blame them. This is cadmium yellow medium hue. That's more the kind of deep yellow that I like. And Aureolin is the next one. In parentheses it says cobalt yellow. So I guess there's 2 names for it. That one fades off quite nicely. You get a nice range there. And we've got cadmium yellow deep hue. That's almost like a school bus orange. At least school bus in the United States. I don't know about other countries. probably have different colors for your school buses. I don't know if you have school buses. Some people do. Some people walk to school. Some people, you know, homeschool. How about that? Some people don't even go anywhere. So many different ways to learn. This one, if I didn't say Hansa Yellow Medium, I've got a blob on my paintbrush. I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm trying to actually not get rid of it, but I'm trying to get it off my paintbrush. It just keeps sticking. Okay, I'm trying to get a little moisture, but not a really concentrated piece of it. It just wouldn't stick to the paper. Okay, Hansa Yellow Medium. That's quite a nice color. Now we have Mayan Yellow. I tried some Mayan colors in the Turner watercolor range, and I didn't care for them. They seemed kind of gel-like. Like they were very transparent, not much vibrancy to them. Maybe that's the nature of them. But that one looks very good. Very concentrated. We have a lemon yellow. Have to be a little careful here because last time I kind of put the palm of my hand right into the dot cards, and I had pre-wet them, of course, so it made a mess all over my hand, all over the swatch page, and it just wasn't what I was trying to do. I just have to be careful. This is Indian Yellow. There's a nice range between the concentrated and the pale watered down. Naples Yellow. That looks like it's got an awful lot of white in it. I'm sure it is very opaque. It does show me on the dot card what the qualities are, but I think this video will be like 7 hours long if I go through all of the qualities of each one. So I'm just giving you the colors here, and you can decide if it's a must-have or if you really don't think much of it or don't think enough to add it to your collection. I'm not trying to get everybody to buy things. You know, we don't need to buy more things, but sometimes when you're painting, you see something that's like really nice. I'll lighten that up a little at the end. Just get a range there. See what kind of range I'm looking at. That's the Hansa Yellow Deep. We have New Gamboge as the next one. And again, I don't know what you're thinking, but some of these kind of look almost the same. Okay, oh, here's another one I'm going to have fun pronouncing. Oh boy, Indolin Yellow. All right, I don't think I did too badly with that, huh? Please help me out if you know how to pronounce some of these, because I certainly am having a bit of a time. Kind of hard to tell someone how to pronounce something in writing, though. I don't know what those pronunciation symbols really are, so that won't help me either. Okay, let's move on. We've got Permanent Yellow Deep. This one's going to be quite a strong one, I'm sure. I don't want too much water on it. There we go. Oh my, look at that. That's a nice one. Wow, that's Permanent Yellow. That looks like orange to me. It says Permanent Yellow. Next one we have is Aussie Red Gold. Wonder if that's taken from Australian soil color, reminiscent of the soil color. I don't know. Maybe. That's a beautiful color. Look at the range on that color. See, now this is what I'm talking about with dot cards. You know, they're expensive, but they're worth every penny if you are looking to see what the color actually is. Here we have Pyrrole Orange. Get a little more water on that brush. Ooh, that's a bright one. Wow. Use that sparingly. You can see it on the brush. Use that sparingly. Whoa. So there's Pyrrole Orange. I like that Aussie Red Gold. That is beautiful. All right, Permanent Orange. That is too much water and not enough paint. What do they say? All dressed up, no place to go? Too much water and not enough paint. There we go. All right. Didn't quite do what I wanted to at the end. There we go. Let me just backtrack a little. Of course, I'll probably get some cauliflowering, but it gives me a little more of an idea of what kind of a range we can get. Cadmium Orange Hue is the next. Very nice color. Let me get that a little darker at the beginning. There we are. Very nice color. And okay, here's another one. Peronone Orange. I hope that's right. It's got some scarlet going on in there, doesn't it? Which is okay. Scarlet, not my favorite color, but it's just a little too bright for me. A little too tomatoey red. All right, let's see what we have next is Cadmium Red Scarlet Hue. And I think, yes, I do have water on that. I stopped halfway on the dot card here, putting water on it because I didn't want to run into the same problem where I stick my hand in it. So if I'm working top to bottom, I would rather wet it as I go along and not have to worry about the wet parts on the top. Okay, Transparent Pyrrole Orange. Let's get a little bit more of, I know it's transparent, but that's a nice transparent color, in fact. Let me get a little bit more water on there so we can see the range that we can work with. That's nice. Organic Vermilion. Okay. What makes it organic? I don't know. Sometimes you wonder where these names come from. It's like the names of drugs, you know. They hire someone to make these drugs sound I don't know like new age or whatever, like a brand new drug that's going to cure all your ailments. All right, I guess that's the job of the person that's naming them. So all right, but the same with these. We're starting to get a little strange here. Mayan Orange looks red to me, but let's see what happens when it gets a little more water in it. Thins down a little bit, not much. Still has that red scarlet look to it. Quinacridone Coral, I believe, is one I've been after. So I like the red violets. I think this is one that I had my eye on. And I'm going to be in trouble when I see it here. Huh. Not quite as vibrant as I thought it would be. And it is kind of vibrant, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing the saturation that I was hoping for. All right. Pyrrole Scarlet. Straight Pyrrole Scarlet. Let's see. This one's going to be more of a tomatoey orange, I'm expecting. And if you look at the card so far, I mean, you can imagine if you had every single one of these, if you were like a real professional or aficionado, you had all these colors already, you wouldn't know which one to pick. There's so many, it's almost confusing. Okay, the next section I did not dot yet. I didn't dot with the paint yet, with the water. So let me go ahead and turn this off, and I will come back after I wet it. All right, now Perylene Scarlet is the next one. Now we're starting to get into a little more magenta pink kind of colors. That's a really nice one. And we've got, oh boy, Anthraquinoid Scarlet. Didn't have too much trouble with that one, so that's a good sign. Still find I don't have just the right amount of water on the brush. I can see how the colors are moving into the wet section there. Okay, cadmium red medium. That's very, very saturated. Let's see what else we've got here. That's cadmium red medium hue. Okay, and then pyrrole red, as opposed to the pyrrole scarlet we had up there. If the pyrrole sounds familiar to you, it was scarlet. This one is red. I can only imagine having all these colors. I think it would be too confusing for me. Just a bit too much. Like, you really don't need all these colors. You might want all these colors, but you don't need them. Okay, Perylene red. There's the Perylene red. Now that's very, very saturated. Let's see if I can get some water on that. I'm gonna move the dot card over a bit because I can see my hand is going to go right in it. All right, permanent red. Now I feel a little bit better about these dot cards for watercolor. I was complaining a bit earlier about the dot cards being a little stingy with their sampling. These, I feel that I'll still have enough left over that I could do maybe a small little painting and test some of them out. Now we're doing permanent red deep. Oh wow, that is quite a color. Oops. See if I can get that a little bit. There we go. That would make almost a nice pink if you kind of watered it down a bit. Okay, quinacridone red. Oh, look at that. That is nice. Oh, that's really pretty. Anthraquinoid red. Oh, look at that. That's like a magenta red. Well, that's almost like a, not quite magenta. There's not enough violet in it to make a magenta. However, it's a nice color just the same. Got too much water on there. I'll just get some of that off or it'll take forever to dry. Okay. Mayan red. Here we go again. Let's see what this is like. As I said, I tried the Turner's Mayan colors. I had a set that, I think it was the 18 set. Very nice set. Very good quality paints. At a very reasonable price too. So if this isn't your cup of tea, because I know some of these are really ridiculously expensive. I mean, you know, ridiculous compared to what? I mean, it's good quality paint. So you're going to pay more for it. Here's alizarin crimson. But if it's not in the budget, for a lot of us, it's a bit too much. the Turner's is a nice alternative. The only exception was I don't care for the Mayan colors. They just seemed very, almost like they were gel colors. Okay, permanent alizarin crimson. I want to move this dot card over because I can feel my hand is going to lean right into it, and if I don't watch myself, I'm going to have another incident like I had last video. Okay, look at that. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Rhodonite Genuine. Now, a lot of these natural pigments from stones and rocks are going to be very thin. They're not going to be, they're going to be very neutral and very thin. This one looks like the exception, but you can see how pale it gets with just a little bit. And I'm not, a little bit of water, I'm not giving it more water than the others. I'm giving it the same amount of water as I go across. But you see how some things are some colors are saturated and others are not. This is carmine. There is a very nice color. I could see using this in florals. If you do like a lot of florals, I could see using that. Rose Madder Permanent. That's usually a little bit of a pale color, so I'm trying to make it as saturated as I can get it. There we go. Okay. Opera Pink. Well, everybody knows what Opera Pink is. It is like the most fluorescent color, and unfortunately it is fugitive. A really nice pink though. Look at that. Very nice pink. I can see certainly using that in mixed media. Now here's Potter's Pink, and I want to say that's one of those that's kind of pale, not quite as saturated. That's almost a brownish color. There's not a whole lot of pinkish to that. It's got a little tinge to it, but boy, look at its granulating. I see that. Here is quinacridone Pink. Quinacridones are one of those groups of colors that are like really nice, really beautiful. And let me see if that is fugitive. That is one. So that is excellent light fastness. Very nice. That's one of my favorite colors. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, quinacridone Rose. That's a nice one too. It tapers off to a very light color. There we go. Quinacridone Lilac. I've got quite a few quinacridones like right in a row here, which is okay. Let's see. That's nice. I like that one. Okay. Quinacridone Magenta. Let's check that one out. Let's see what that one's like. I think we have some people walking by outside. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful color. Waters down nicely too. Or pales out nicely. I'll get some of that kind of fading off. Okay, Pyrrole Crimson. Let's see. Hyrule Crimson. That's a very strong, saturated color. Look at that. My goodness. Trying to get a little paleness on that, and doesn't want to. There we go. Well, that's a little... I try to blend them in nicely, but... Quinacridone Fuchsia. I like fuchsia colors. That's very strong. Let's see. That's a nice color. Mayan Violet. Let's see. Here's another one. That one's a little hard to wet. Doesn't want to wet. Huh. No, it doesn't want to wet. Even though I had a dot of water on it earlier, it just does not want to. Let's see. That's fading out nicely. So a nice range there too. Now we're on the last row of this card. This is card or page number 1. Here we go with Bordeaux. That feels very thick. Ooh, look at that. Let me get some water in there and see if I can water that down a little so you can see what it looks like if you add a little bit of water. I don't want it completely saturated because that doesn't give me an idea of like the range of what I can do with these paints. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Permanent Violet. Now we're starting to get into, wow, I don't think I wet that one very much, did I? Permanent Violet is very dark. I'm going to get a little more water on that. In fact, that's not showing the beauty of the color. Look at that. Get some plain water on that. A little closer to plain. Oh, that's a nice color. Look at the range. Very nice. See how they're spreading into that water? Quinacridone Violet. That's what we've got here. Hard to see because, again, there's not a lot of water in there. It's mostly pigment, and it's very saturated, but that gives you an idea. You can see how that's a little more red, that's a little more blue. They're all different, aren't they? But that's not an excuse to want to have them all. Okay, Perylene Violet. Whoa, look at that. Sorry about the plastic and the tarp blowing around in the wind there, making a little noise. Oh wow, look at that. That's kind of an odd color. It's kind of like that Potter's Pink. It's got a little earthy brown to it. Here's a Cobalt Violet. Oh, this is beautiful. This is almost like the wisteria color. And it's not very saturated, I see. Wow, look at that. This is almost like what I was talking about with the Turner Mayan colors. They're very gel-like. Like they're not saturated. And now there's a little more water on there. So that's very pale and very watered down. Here comes Cobalt Violet Deep. This is the last one on this page. That's kind of a nice color for florals. I could see using that for a lot of florals, maybe even sunset sky. You know, when the sky starts turning those deep colors, those pale colors rather. Okay, so that is our page 1 of the Daniel Smith 266 dot card. And there you can see the dot card itself with all the different information there. And I'll show you this as well. Kind of get a close-up so you can see what these look like. Don't want to move too fast and make you dizzy. Those are some beautiful, beautiful colors. My goodness, look at that. Now we all want them all, don't we? No, no, no. Of course, I'd like to experiment with some of these. Leave me a comment down below and tell me which ones are your favorites. I tend to like the very saturated ones. Like I like the permanent violet. That's, of course, opera pink is beautiful. Quinacridone pink is beautiful. That Aussie red gold is just, that is just to die for. That's beautiful. But I hope this is giving you an idea of what some of the colors in the Daniel Smith range really look like. It's a cloudy day today, so it's not the best day for doing this, but it's what I have. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me today. And keep painting. Keep practicing and painting and doing your art every day if you can. That's the best thing you can do. These kinds of things are little extra things. You don't need all these different colors to do good art. You don't need fancy things to do good art. Use what you have and make some art. I will see you next time. Well, it's a very windy day today. You can hear all the wind blowing. I did not show you what I got at the nursery. So I got several 6-packs of impatiens and I potted them up in a hanging basket that I had. And I potted up some marigolds. I love that bright orangey yellow color in the window box here. That will fill out. So there are little marigolds and the dianthus, which I also really like. Then I found some fuchsias, and I bought 3 of those and potted those up in a hanging basket here. The other hanging basket is going up on the other side, but I don't want to put it up yet because of the wind and the storm. That's a little bit heavy. Then I got several geraniums and a daisy and some other plants. This is one of my favorite. I love this one. This actually comes out, the flowers come out dark peach and then they turn lighter peach and then white, almost white, and they trail. So they bloom all summer. They're a trailing verbena. They're very, very beautiful. I really like them. So that's going to make a nice show for the steps there on the way in. And I did pick up several 6-packs. Yesterday I did a little bit of a hasty weeding here and planted some of those impatiens so that they would make use of the rains we're going to have today. And I can feel the storms coming. But I planted those all along the border here. And I have to get the weed whacker on that one. But I went ahead and did that. So that's what I did with my nursery plants. And I think I have a few more that I can show you. Well, I have a few more plants that I got. There are some more dianthus and marigolds. And I got a few little snapdragons there, some peach-colored snapdragons. These are a little worse for the wear now that you see them in the greenhouse because I did not feed them, and it was a little bit hot last week. But I still have a few of these left to plant out. There's some coleus there, some tomatoes I did get, and nice geranium in the back there. And I also got some mints. I got spearmint. This is a spearmint. Let me see. This is a mojito mint, and I got this one is, oh, that one's spearmint. Okay, I got spearmint and a mojito mint. So I will have those in my salad for a nice long time, all summer. Speaking of salad, Here is our lettuce that is coming on. We have to do a bit of weeding in there, and you can see we also have some parsley planted. And if you can excuse the mess between the walkways there, there's our lettuce that we started with. And we're eating that now. It looks like an awful lot of lettuce for 2 people. Here's my favorite, the Tom Thumb Butter Crunch type bib lettuce. It looks like a lot of lettuce for 2 people, but we actually eat a head a day or more between us, depending on the size of the head. Like a supermarket size full leaf lettuce, we will split because of the cost and because it's winter time and so forth. But when it's summer and we can grow our own, we just have wonderful salads and enjoy the fresh food, and all summer long we get to enjoy that. So that's what we've got planted there. I may as well show you what else we've got in the greenhouse. I've got one spot in the back for my favorite sun gold tomatoes, which are small orange tomatoes, but they're really, really sweet. And we have other tomatoes planted here with marigolds and basil in front. It's supposed to keep the bugs out a little bit, but our tomatoes are quite far along already. This is end of May. This is Memorial Day actually today. And here's a strawberry that my daughter planted end of last summer, and it's just sending out all kinds of runners there. So we should have a lot of strawberry plants next year. But there's our tomatoes and our basil. So let me go ahead and harvest some of this. I brought in my basket, and I'll go ahead and cut some of this for today's lunch. Alright, so there is my salad. We have salad left over from yesterday, which is the red salad my husband likes, so he's going to eat that. But I picked some parsley. I have some lemon balm, which gives it a little lemony flavor, and some spearmint. Got some spearmint and a few leaves of the basil, and that should give it a nice fresh flavor. That's lettuce for 2 days, so I'll wash it up and put the rest in the fridge. But I'm looking forward to eating that. Yum!